Welcome to LAWO's next stellar leap. This time, a stellar leap in IP media infrastructure. With me is Axel Kern, LAWO's Senior Product Manager, Media Infrastructure Control.
A warm welcome also from my side. I'm happy to be here and thank you for joining.
Axel, IP infrastructure is common these days, and broadcasters are beginning to benefit from the flexibility, the scalable nature, and the signal-agnostic design which comes with IP. But it also goes along with complexity, time-consuming setups, and a multitude of user interfaces. Let aside all the security aspects. What do you think are the main concerns broadcasters have with regards to IP system deployment today?
Well, why don't we listen to what leading broadcasters express and what they wish for their future installations?
Hi, I'm Jason Taubman, Senior Vice President of Technology for Game Creek Video. We're a mobile television services provider in the United States. Setup efficiency is absolutely key to what we do. Very often, our trucks are asked to arrive at an event at 12 o'clock, and we are expected to be on the air fully functional by 7 p.m. That same day.
Hi, my name is Dennis Duvale. I'm a long-time television veteran, I suppose. I've been in the business about 35 years. I work in Australia in a very unassuming broadcast house. We broadcast horse racing across the world. The industry needs to get to a point where we can go to a supplier and purchase a device, whatever that device might be. It may be software, it may be hardware, it could be a service, but it should be able to be plugged in, and it should be able to discover itself, and it should then be able to be operated in a simple format.
My name is Christian Gobbel. I'm the CTO of HBS. HBS is specialized in host broadcast services, which is also our name. In the IP world, the interoperability and the interconnection between devices is not any longer straightforward, but needs mechanisms to have an easy implementation of different vendors. And NMOS IS-05 and IS-04 is not fully supporting all features of all the more complex equipment we are using in our installations.
We can't afford to have everyone being a network specialist. They need to be able to, press a couple of buttons, expect something to happen.
We don't yet really have a single application that brings all of that together and does all the discovery and everything else that's needed to make that go seamlessly.
My business, as much as it's horse racing, is actually a wagering platform, and you can imagine betting platforms are rife to be hacked.
Another big one is managing the inventory and the multicast address kind of ranges of all the specifics within the network, because that should be managed by a control system in an intelligent way.
It's actually really difficult for us to make systems work, because we have to do so much manual intervention, specifically around discovery and managing IP addresses and all that. It would be much simpler when we do get to a point where you plug it in and it tells you what it is and who it is and how it operates and what it can do or what it can't do.
So what I would hope in 5 years is that we could bring two trucks or two infrastructures together, or perhaps a truck connected to a remote infrastructure, maybe our client's broadcast center. We would connect those two via whatever bandwidth was provided, and the two infrastructures would find each other and be able to easily and seamlessly pass signals back and forth. Not only video and audio, but all the control layer, just everything would come together and be pretty plug and play, as it were, and also secure.
You connect everything, you push a button, and it configures itself. That would be a great function.
I can see why customers are looking for this.
Those ideas are the logical next steps of what has started some years ago with the move from baseband to IP.
With setups growing bigger and flexibility requirements in live production increase, finding answers to these topics is a key objective in the technological evolution of IP broadcast.
We've always been listening to our customers. And we have invested in an R&D team which has been working on something secret for more than 2 years now. Andreas, today is the day to lift the curtain. You will see this is not only the next step in media infrastructure, it is a major leap. Please join me and let me introduce you to our new home. Welcome home.
That was quite a trick.
What we just witnessed is the discovery and registration functionality within our home. See, all LAWO gear has been automatically discovered and registered. And also third-party devices are appearing here, thanks to NMOS ISO 4. All the devices are now populating my device list in home. So we have discovery and registration in place.
All these devices were known to the system before, and therefore were allowed to enter your home. But what if I connect an unknown device?
Well, obviously the unknown device shouldn't be simply added into my existing infrastructure without manual approval. So let's find out. See, the device is now quarantined. As a user, I can now decide what to do with the device. Either approve it or keep it out. But let's be honest. This is just the minimum you would expect from an IP-based media infrastructure.
Yes, indeed. If this was my home, I would still feel kind of exposed with no walls or security system around me. So let's hear what Phil Myers, LAWO CTO, has to say about security. Phil, what is important for a secure IP broadcast infrastructure?
IT security has long been a core functional requirement of network infrastructures around the globe. And with the advancement of media infrastructure into this area, the challenges of addressing these core requirements whilst maintaining the expected levels of resilience and performance is becoming a critical concern for customers. With the acceleration and adoption of decentralized production, or in simple terms, remote production, these challenges are increasingly bringing this requirement to the forefront, for it to be addressed in a more systematic approach. While security can have an impact on many aspects of media infrastructure, the key lies in its simplicity, whether that be in the initial design and deployment, or in its ongoing maintenance and support. Today, there are a few open concerns around security within a media infrastructure, such as unsecure web-based interfaces, which may be accessible locally on a LAN or a WAN, or alternatively, connected remotely over the internet. User accessibility to the system, which may cover a user's role, the groups that they participate in, and their associated permissions within the system. Connected devices to the media infrastructure, such as audio video processing devices, as well as audio consoles, which may have not been connected or seen before, or simply known devices which have been moved around in the network and are no longer well behaved. And finally, the open accessibility of premium content, of which is transported as packetized streams throughout the infrastructure, which inadvertently may have found its way into an unauthorized segment of the network and onto a device for consumption. To address these customer concerns, we have architected and developed a solution from the ground up with modern technologies, not only for resilience, scalability, and performance, but also with security as a key core value. Within its microservices architecture, you will find services to address transport layer security of user interfaces, network segmentation, as well as established IT mechanisms of security, such as Radius. With the additional implementation of 802.1x across the system, devices can be managed on and off media infrastructure with a simple and intuitive quarantine process. This gives customers peace of mind when it comes to unknown or badly behaved devices entering the network by ensuring they are managed securely. To further complement this, a lightweight directory access protocol service is available to allow users to authenticate either locally or via their own corporate IT infrastructure, for example, Microsoft Active Directory. Finally, the protection of content is not forgotten, and the microservices implemented today allow for future support of technologies such as MACsec and IPsec, completing the task of securing not only the users, but the network, the devices, and the content.
Okay, this is very clear now. So firstly, LAWO managed media systems can be set up a lot faster than previous IP infrastructure solutions.
And secondly, we provide various levels of security too. But let me show you what else we can do with our home. After discovering and setting up devices, it is just a little step further to remotely control them. Here, we are not limited to small setups or local networks. The underlying architecture of our home is built to scale up to any size, and it's natively distributable. Let's connect to a remote site. The remote location immediately becomes part of my home. It is now one infrastructure. And remember, everything is in place to secure this network setup. So our home starts with our local network, and you can add other premises or mobile production units on demand. You are able to expand into globe-spanning networks with services running either on-premise, cloud-based, or hybrid. Whilst our media network management platform is based on a future-proof and cloud-ready microservice architecture, it grants operational access to all resources of a network. Our home is designed for parallel multi-user access from anywhere, based on user and group policies. My colleague Lukas at the remote site has access to the same resources I have and can operate in parallel to prepare his setup.
Here is our network management platform for all LAWO IP native devices, like vMatrix conversion, processing and multiviewers, but also our Ruby radio consoles, Power Core, the A-Line I/O devices, and of course the MC² consoles and the A-Line UHD Core platform. As you can see, Home is fully integrated into my MC² console UI, bringing up all resources and destinations to my console immediately after being connected to the network. What I can see depends on my user rights and my account. That applies for the devices in my list, but also for all the stream sources and destinations that I'm allowed to patch in order to establish signal flows. This applies for video streams, ENC data and GPIO, but of course also audio. Home is not only designed to give a comprehensive overview over the network, but also allows for centralized update mechanisms or a more detailed view on an individual device like the A-Line UHD Core here, where I can do easy things like changing an IP address if those are not anyway managed by my home. The Home UI capabilities are outstandingly flexible and easy to use. Let's hear a little bit more about the ideas behind it.
All of this has been designed and built from the ground up using LUX, the LAWO Unified Experience. LUX is a framework for conceiving, designing and building solutions that put you first. You all have jobs to do. You're bringing the atmosphere of a sporting event into someone's living room. You're quickly and clearly delivering breaking news. Or you're producing an incredible live event that fans will remember for the rest of their lives. We make things that help you do that. We want to make our solutions effortless and invisible, so they get out of your way, so you can spend less time thinking about how or where you're going to do something, and let you spend that mental effort more usefully on the product you're delivering. We've made sure there's a healthy balance between the complexities of the open and innovative technologies that make all of this possible, and the real-world objectives and goals that you as a person are trying to achieve. We want to give you access to all the power that these technologies provide. but do so in a way that supports the jobs you have to do and that doesn't force you to think like a machine. LAWO solutions are made up of multiple products and services, and you should be able to interact with everything seamlessly as part of that solution. Lux provides common principles, workflow patterns and UI components to make sure you feel at home regardless of the various elements involved. And you've already seen how the MC² products seamlessly integrate network management functionality, and how you can make connections in and out of Mixer DSP in the same way that you connect streams on the network. Powerful filters let you quickly and easily make long and complex lists relevant and manageable, whether you're filtering your device inventory, audio signals or IP streams. The same mental models and UI patterns apply. The principle of gradual exposure of complexity means that common workflows are made as simple and as efficient as possible, but the complex technical details are right there if you need them. Thoughtful details help to reduce friction and automate repetitive tasks, such as automatic incremental labeling of senders and receivers. Often, products make you move around them and make you think in the way that their technology and data structures tell you to think. We don't want to force you to think that way. We want to help you stay focused on your tasks and bring the right tools to you when and where you need them. For example, if you're in the headspace of configuring a device, you probably want to see all the details about that device, label some signals, adjust some I/O parameters, set up some streams. It makes sense that all of this is available in one place if that's what you want to focus on. But if you're in the middle of routing a lot of streams in the network, and you realize that I/O routing from a receiver is wrong, we don't want to force you to go back to that list of devices, to find the correct page, the correct device, the correct receiver, change the routing, and come all the way back again. This kind of context switching kills productivity, and we want you to be able to stay focused on the job you're doing. We think you should be able to make changes, such as I/O routing, wherever you are, making the changes quickly using a familiar and consistent interface so you can continue with your work. And as you'd expect, the UI supports both light and dark modes, so it's comfortable to use regardless of the environment you're in or the device you're using.
As we have seen, in our home everything works perfectly to prepare and configure IP setups, like, for example, connecting IP cameras or setting up a console core and its stage boxes. In addition to pure connection management, it also adds features such as centralized device configuration, software and firmware management, and even parameterization. The clear focus of this user interface is operability.
In our home, the architecture is cloud native by design and made to scale seamlessly from today's on-premise installations to globally networked systems towards cloud-based setups, as we may see them soon. But what does cloud native actually mean?
The concept of cloud-native processing is that you can create virtual audio and video processing services from pools of computing resource. These resources may be private or public clouds and can be hosted locally or remotely and connected over IP networks. When you're detached from the constraints of custom hardware and physical cabling, then you're free to spin up and spin down processing functionality on demand to precisely meet the needs of your current production, and then release the computing resources for use elsewhere when you're done. This approach has two powerful benefits. Firstly, it offers a flexibility that is simply not achievable with a conventional dedicated hardware approach. You can fine-tune your processing chain on a production-by-production basis, and you can schedule the availability of services between facilities, allowing you to optimize resource utilization and maximize your return on investment. Secondly, it is really easy to scale up your operation simply by adding processing resources and expanding your media network. LAWO has designed its media infrastructure platform to make it easy to manage cloud-based deployments, be they hosted locally, remotely, or even at a third-party data center. A simple, user-friendly UI offers you an easy way to manage resources. You can organize processing services and control access to them, and you can configure network infrastructure, including devices such as vMatrix and A-stage audio interfaces. You can administer your network and manage security, and crucially, you can access a sophisticated orchestration service either through a stream patching web UI or by connecting it to a third-party control system through a northbound API. The management platform itself is designed as a collection of microservices, which makes the system scalable and easy to develop further as cloud operations evolve over time. One important design principle has been the use of open standards and established protocols to help future-proof integration and compatibility with all your facilities systems. Think of it as a home for all tasks and controls you need to run your cloud-based operation.
Wow, this is Design for Tomorrow, available today. The migration of media infrastructure to IP was the first step. Now it is about leveraging its true potential.
Yes, Andreas. In today's project implementations, the physical build and cabling is only half of the way. The other half consists of configuration. Efficiency in setting up modern installs must increase. In our home, we support this.
And security remains a big topic in media infrastructure installations.
In home, it is solved using field-proven IT mechanisms.
Indeed, once deployed, setups can be quickly and flexibly managed through our home's management functionalities. For example, by providing device access through one common user interface, or the possibility to centrally manage configurations.
As setups will need to adapt to constantly changing production demands, no matter if on-premise or off-premise, local or remote, your home provides the architecture to scale with your agile business requirements.
No matter what your IP media infrastructure setup is going to be. Connect it,
secure it,
manage it.
With home.
Thanks a lot for joining.
Welcome to Home, LAWO's new management platform for IP media infrastructures. Designed for the future, available today. Build up your IP media infrastructure with LAWO's software-defined video and audio processing. LAWO's intuitive hardware and software control solutions. LAWO's network monitoring tools. And all your preferred broadcast equipment from other vendors supporting common industry standards. Migrating to IP was only the first step. Now, it is about leveraging your media infrastructure's true potential. Connect, secure, and manage your IP infrastructure. And get ready for the next level. LAWO Home. Connected, secured, managed.